Always a long way away. Right guys, as mentioned in the previous video, I'm looking to making a walking stave. Been looking for a piece of hazel. I found some yesterday, but a bit reluctant to cut it. But today I found this. As you can see, someone's taken it down. Probably smashed it down because it was in their way. There's a lot of cyclists come through here, motorcyclists, and it looks straight enough. And I'm going to take this and see what I can get of it. It's dying now, so I can turn it into my walking stave. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Mint tea. There you go guys, all set up. Right guys, I've got my piece of hazel here. The choice is actually made for me. Someone had actually snapped it off at this end. I've cut it, it's starting to wilt, the leaves are starting to wilt. So I'm going to make myself a nice walking stave of about 6 foot long. I do have walking sticks. I have 2 lecky, which are conventional walking staves or walking sticks, which fold up quite nice and small. But I wanted something that, I don't know, felt a little different. 6 foot long, it's great if you're having to go over boggy ground, and I might be able to get 1 or 2 other pieces out of this. Maybe split it down, make a bit of a spoon or something, you know, teaspoon. Hazel is very good wood. It provides nuts for the squirrels and for ourselves in the late summer, early autumn. In fact, I've noticed with some of the hazels around here, the nuts have already been got at by the squirrels and other rodents, but who cares? I don't worry, you know, they've just as much right to it as I am. And it's also one of the 3 great coppicing woods, the other 2 being sycamore and sweet chestnut. Each provides something. Hazel I think provides a little bit into the furniture making industry, but most of the hazel round here, and it's I suppose I have to go about 20 or 30 miles away towards a place called Sutton Valence, and near there there is what they call nut plats. Some of these are 300 or 400 years old, and they grow what is known as Kentish cob nuts, and basically they look like hazelnuts on steroids. Very sweet, very tasty, and I've noticed around most of the nut plats there are hazel hedging, which obviously produces nuts, which actually cuts down the incidence of them being scrumped by the squirrels. Doesn't stop me from scrumping them, though I haven't done that in a good few years now. Actually, a couple of years, if I was to be honest. They're very tasty. Hazelnuts are great. They're a great food. They're more palatable when cooked, apparently. I've yet to try them. You need to get quite a few, and you sort of roast them in the ground, as per Ray Mears' wild food. But I see my water's coming up to the boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off for a minute, have my brew, contemplate my navel, or as it's known in more wise terms, ophthalmoskepsis, and I'll be back demonstrating on how to get this into a walking staff and the proper use of a saw. So guys, I'm going to cut this piece of wood. I'm just going to swing it round because I'll need the tree to help me cut this, be a bit of a support. But I'll be going over a quick go over on what I term the correct use of a saw. In Sandy's Basser, the night out I think he spent with Foxy and Bribo. I think it was Bribo was using Sandy's bow saw, and I winced a bit, primarily because what could have happened. Anyway, I shall prop myself up, pop this into the tree like so. There you go. Right, now I'm using a folding saw, and it's a nice one. It's an inherited one. I'm just going to swing this around a little bit so I'm more central to what I'm doing. There we go. Right, it's an inherited folding saw, and all folding saws are very useful. Right, it's a green gem. Not a bad saw, actually. It's quite good. Right. You got your saw. Obviously that's the most dangerous bit. If you hold your saw this side of your hand and you're cutting, so if I hold the saw upside down, so imagine I'm cutting, it skips. If I come back, you get yourself a very, very nasty gash down there. Then these green woodworking saws have a different kind of rake, and it can do a really nasty cut, which can be very, very hard to see to in the field. It basically not only cuts the flesh, it also tears the flesh. It is often, if it's really bad, it'll be a hospital job. If you're going to cut, put the supporting hand there, and either have your hand over that side or down there. So if it skips, it comes up to there. It's not going to skip onto your hand. So I'm going to cut just where I think it needs to be, which is about there. Again, it's all to do with safe quarters in here ultimately. There we go. In fact, I've got a bit of a rabbit stick there, or a donk stick, I don't know. Yeah. Actually, it sounds like it's just come on to rain. Right, there we go. So that's a safe use of salt. Always make sure that you put your tools away afterwards. I can hear rain, folks. While I was having my tea, I was laying back looking at the treetops, watching the squirrels through the pines, and now I've got that lovely shushing noise of rain. Right, I'm going to go now and set up for trimming this off. I need to adjust the camera position, so I'll be back in a second, folks. Well folks, that's the walking stave. I've got one or two bits of trimming to do, just got to find the trimming tool to do it with, which is that. It's the Jack Law knife, early model, and basically I'm snedding it. So you hold the stave upside down and you just do that. I'm in the process of making a sheath for this beastie. That's the liner of the sheath. I'm just working on waxing. I've got some leather indoors which is quite floppy, so I'm going to try waxing it to stiffen it up. Anyway, there you go. The stave. Over a period of time it will lighten up, because this is still quite green, this wood, so it's still quite a heavy stave. But it will serve its purpose. I've got one or two domestic things to do with it. I'm going to do a ferrule for the end somehow, just to protect the end, to stop it from fraying too much, because I don't want to keep replacing it. And I've got an idea of adding a small metal hook to the end, so that when I'm foraging I can pull tree branches down closer to pick the nuts, berries or whatever. But there we go folks, it's a rather nice looking tree. Hey, there you go. Let's do a bit of trimming off around the back here. Maybe put some paracord around it just to give it a bit of padding. So there we go folks, a walking stave. Will have many uses. If you're in boggy areas, it's great for testing the ground to make sure that you won't go up to your knees. It acts as a temporary ridge pole. All you need to do is find yourself 4 cross beams, and it's great just for resting on, you know. But all in all, it's a good stave. It's a walking stuff. In fact, I'm considering, while I'm thinking about it, maybe wrapping a bit of paracord around it as something padded to hold on to. Don't know yet, but just got to linseed it, or wipe it over with some linseed and white spirit, let that soak in, give it a bit of protection. There we go. And quarter staff. Way. Little John, eat your heart out. Well, I'm burgled on enough guys, and I'll see you in the next video. TTFN, may you all be blessed, and what a great team of cyclists were this year in the Olympics. Bye. Right, out of the hazel, the rest of the hazel should I say, 4 tent stakes and the 3 cut points, which are quite difficult to achieve. Well, I always find they are. Okie doke guys.